Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Style Studio, where today we will be doing a very fun DIY crafty project that has to do with a fashion trend that is super in right now. But for those of you who are new around here and don't know who I am, my name is Madison. I'm an Instagram creator, blogger, and high school fashion design teacher. And here on YouTube, I film sewing videos and tutorials, DIY projects, and travel vlogs, and other things beyond that. But I am super excited about today's video because it is different than some of my previous videos that I have specifically focused on design and sewing, because today is all about DIY craftiness for a trend that is super in right now, even though it's a trend that is not really my taste, but I thought it would be super fun to do a video. So today we are going to attempt reverse tie-dye. So if you have been on social media recently, which we all have, or you keep up with any celebrities or anything like that, or keep up with the fashion trends, you have probably seen that tie-dye is super in right now. Now, I am not a huge fan of tie-dye. Honestly, I really don't wear tie-dye, and I don't even make it that much. If we're being perfectly honest, the first time that I actually properly made a good tie-dye project was this past year in class with my students. We were talking about fabric dyes, and so we did a lab one day where we created tie-dyes, and it was so much fun. All of their projects turned out so good, and so I did it along with them, and I realized that you can actually create so many cool different designs and patterns with tie-dye. And so yeah, I have that one shirt now, like the only tie-dye thing that I own. But why am I saying all of that? Because today's video has to do with the tie-dye fashion trend, but it's different because today's video is all about reverse tie-dye. Now, if you think about what tie-dye is, it's essentially taking a solid color, usually a white shirt, and adding pigment and color to it. Now, reverse tie-dye is taking a shirt that's already a color, typically brown, black, or gray, more of our neutral colors, and adding bleach to remove color, therefore creating a design where you actually remove color, and then the leftover pigmentation is your actual design. So it's a really cool concept. I think it's honestly like way more like scientific than regular tie-dye, so that's cool. I always like trying to integrate science into fashion because there's honestly so much science and math and fashion, and it's awesome. So anyways, I'm really excited about today's video because we are going to attempt this yeah, and see what happens. I think that reverse tie-dye will look really, really cool, and I kind of like reverse tie-dye because it's more like neutral and subtle rather than like the crazy colors, because all the crazy colors of tie-dye that's super on trend right now comes from like the 80s and 90s, and those are my least favorite periods and eras of fashion. So that's probably why I'm not a huge fan of it, but I like the reverse tie-dye because it's like super urban and like hip and cool fashion, street style kind of. So anyways, we're going to attempt that today, and I really hope that you are inspired by this project and maybe try it out for yourself. If you do, make sure to tag me on Instagram so that I can see all of your awesome designs. But without further ado, let's get creating and DIYing.
Alright, first things first, you're going to need t-shirts for this project. 100% cotton will give you the best results, but as you will see in this video, I end up experimenting with different fiber contents to get different colorways. You are also going to need some type of rubber bands to create your tie-dye designs. I also use plastic bags to let my shirt sit overnight in. I also grabbed a plastic tub so that I wouldn't get bleach all over my table as I was doing the application process. You're going to need water for your bleach water solution. You are obviously also going to need bleach. You can use a name brand or just the regular store brand. And you are also going to need some type of squeeze bottles for your bleach application. Now, before we start our bleach application process, we need to make our bleach water solution. So everything online says that you should just do a 50-50 mix. So 50% water and then 50% of your bleach. Like I said, you don't have to use the Clorox brand. You can just use a regular store brand, but I am just pouring my bleach halfway into my kind of squeeze bottles. I got these at Hobby Lobby on the tie-dye aisle for, you know, crafting and all that stuff. And then I'm going to add water to the rest of it. I went ahead and filled both of these bottles up, but I actually had to end up refilling it for my second shirt. So you might have to do a couple of those, or you could just get a couple of squeeze bottles at the store so you don't have to keep mixing together the solution. I also realized after I was doing this that I probably should have been wearing like some type of plastic gloves so that my hands wouldn't smell like bleach, but oh well, we live and we learn. So once those mixtures are created and mixed up, we're going to put them aside until we need them for our actual bleaching process. Alright, now it's time to get our shirt ready for the actual design. For this black shirt, I decided to go with the spiral method, so all you do is start twisting your t-shirt from the very center. There are a ton of different creative and really awesome designs you can do with tie-dye, so if you just Google it or even get on Pinterest and search tie-dye designs, they will show you directions for how you accomplish all of those. So after I twisted my shirt, all I do is just kind of crisscross rubber bands across my shirt to kind of make it look like a piece of pie, and then I will eventually go in with my bleach and apply the bleach to every other section. Now that all of our rubber bands are attached, it's time to get bleaching. So this is where the plastic tub comes in handy. All I did was just kind of set my t-shirt in there, and then I just start squeezing the bleach onto every other section. You're going to want to do this on both sides of the shirt, so you are going to have to kind of pay attention to which sections you're actually bleaching, and you're going to want to make sure to saturate it enough so that it penetrates all the way into those various layers twisted inside of the shirt to get the best and vibrant design. So once your bleach has been applied to all of the sides, you're just going to seal the t-shirt in a Ziploc bag and set it aside to soak into all of the layers. So after I did my first shirt, I remember that you're actually supposed to dampen the t-shirts before you actually apply the dye or the bleach. So you can do this by just getting it wet before you scrunch it or twist it, or you can put it into its design and then get it wet with water in the sink. So for my gray shirt, I went ahead and just got it damp in the sink and then kind of started scrunching it together. This design, I'm kind of going for like a sporadic thing, so it really has no specific kind of technique. You kind of just scrunch everything together and then like randomly apply the different rubber bands. So once your t-shirt is ready, for this design all you have to do is kind of just randomly apply bleach. You don't have to apply it to specific sections, and the reason why it's great to get your shirt actually wet before you apply the bleach is that it actually helps the dye and the bleach to soak in more to the fibers rather than it being dry. It takes a little bit for it to soak in, and then sometimes it overflows into the other sections. So that's why it's really helpful to make sure to do this step. But once all of my bleach is applied, I'm just going to stick it in the bag and set it aside.
Alright, so the t-shirts are in the bags. I'm going to let them sit overnight to make sure that the bleach takes and removes the color as much as I want to. This is the black shirt, which I did first, and if you can see, there's a lot of condensation in here, and if you touch the bag, it's actually super hot. So there's some science for you, because bleach actually heats up as the chemicals activate, which is what is creating this condensation in here with the moisture, and why it's also super warm. You can kind of see that the colors are changing a little bit, so we'll see how that continues to change and see how they look tomorrow. Alright, so it is day two of our reverse tie-dye, and I let the shirt sit overnight with the bleach in the bags, and we are going to check and see if they turned out. Honestly, looking at them right now doesn't look all that great, and if you remember, I prefaced this video by saying we're going to attempt reverse tie-dye, because honestly, reverse tie-dye using bleach to remove color from shirts really is science, and we were kind of just doing an experiment, so we're gonna see what the shirts look like and figure out where to go from here. So first up, the gray one. This was like a gray heather t-shirt. Also, I will say that the bleach broke all of the rubber bands, so they completely busted in the bag. So that's one thing. Obviously, this would probably look different if it was dried, but this is the gray t-shirt that we applied bleach to, and literally it did nothing. And when I came out this morning to check the bags and I saw this one, I realized that one, it's a heather gray t-shirt, so you would assume that gray you could just bleach out the color and, you know, it would turn it into be something, but heather gray is really a woven type of color. It's not an actual dyed color, so I really don't think it works to bleach it, so that's probably why that one did not work. So yeah, moving on to shirt number 2. Let's see if it did anything. This was the black shirt. It kind of just, there's no like white on it, it's just like this weird green color, so I don't know what this shirt's going to look like. Oh wow, to be honest, I really thought that this shirt wasn't gonna work out because it looked so bad in the bag, but this is what it turned out as. I literally thought I was gonna have to go to the store and buy more t-shirts to do like a part 2 of this video, and wow, I am actually super surprised that actually turned out so cool. I was expecting it to dye a little bit more white, but this shirt is polyester cotton rayon, so because it has synthetics, it actually is going to take bleach a lot differently than 100% cotton. So because of the polyester and the rayon, it actually dyes more of a tan, but this actually looks super cool. And then there's some black and kind of like purple, and the spiral turned out so cool. This is definitely one of my favorite designs that I've done for tie-dye, and this looks really awesome. Like, I'm literally so shocked and surprised right now. I thought that this was going to be a complete dud of an experiment. So we ended up with one t-shirt. I think I really want to do 1 or 2 more as part of this video to show you some different designs, since the gray one did not work out. So we are gonna head to the store and get another 1 or 2 shirts and see what happens with those. But you can use a polyester rayon cotton shirt that's black and dye it, and it will actually look cool like this. So yeah, on to the second part of the experiment. So like I said with the gray one, because it's heather and it's not an actual dyed fiber, it wasn't going to take bleach, and I really didn't even think about that. My creative side usually just dives straight into a project without considering all factors and thinking about all things or doing specific research, because I would just went into this experiment and wanted to see what would happen. But it goes back to one of my favorite quotes, which says, "Take chances, make mistakes, and get messy" by Miss Frizzle. And we definitely took a chance and we made a mistake and we learned from that, and now that's kind of part of experiments and part of science and fashion, is just trying things out, see what happens, and then what doesn't work, you learn from it and you move on. So yeah, on to the second and third shirts. We are going to go pick up more shirts and try this again and see what happens. Oh my gosh, so I was driving to Walmart to get t-shirts, and I realized there was a bug on my like side, not windshield, but like rear view mirror on the side of the car, and it was like hanging on the whole time. I didn't think it was still there. A crow just came and ate off my car. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I decided to go to Walmart and get more shirts for my project since only one of the reverse tie-dyes turned out, and I want to see if I can find shirts that have a different fiber content, like more cotton, and see if the color turns out differently. So we're going to Walmart. Probably not the place you should necessarily go in the middle of a pandemic, but we're gonna wear a mask and we're gonna stay far away from a lot of people, and we're gonna see what they have for this DIY project. Okay, I don't know if you can even hear me in this, but anyways, the best place to get t-shirts at Walmart for any kind of project is in the guys section, so we're gonna go see what they have. Alright, so I finished my shopping at Walmart. I got 3 different things to do the reverse tie-dye on. I got a lavender and a yellow shirt that are 65 polyester, 35% cotton. And it's also 65% recycled polyester, which is awesome. There's a lot of brands that have been doing that recently, and I have noticed that at Walmart that they actually use recycled polyester, which is so much better for the environment. And then I also found a 100% cotton like black t-shirt dress with a pocket, so we're gonna see what that turns out as, because I really want to see what Bleach does on 100% cotton versus polyester cotton blend. So yeah, and we got some earrings because Walmart has really cute cheap jewelry. Yeah.
Alright, on to attempt number 2 of this DIY turned science experiment. I started off with my purple shirt, and I'm just going to create a design that has like 3 different circles throughout the shirt, and you accomplish this by securing different sections of the fabric with rubber bands, and you kind of layer them and then bleach the different sections. So we're gonna see how this turns out on this fabric and fiber content. For this yellow shirt, I just decided to kind of try the bunch method, where you basically just like scrunch up your shirt randomly and then just kind of secure it with different rubber bands, and then throw bleach over the entire fabric and see what the design turns out like. Alright, the last piece for part 2 of this DIY turned science experiment is this 100% cotton t-shirt dress. So I knew that the 100% cotton would probably take a lot better to the bleach, so I wanted to make sure to create a design that would be like really vibrant. So again, I'm doing the layering method with the rubber bands and 3 different sections of the dress to kind of give these kind of spirally circles in different corners of the dress. So we'll see how this turns out once bleach is applied to it. And then just a reminder, don't forget to dampen all of your shirts after you have secured them with your rubber bands. Dampening the shirts with water will make sure that the bleach actually soaks into all of the fibers. And now it's time to start applying bleach. So for the purple shirt, I'm just applying bleach to every other section that I sectioned off right through the rubber bands. And this will kind of give a slightly spiral or like a circle within a circle design. So we'll see how this ends up turning out. For this yellow shirt, since it's a slightly sporadic design, you kind of just apply bleach to the entire thing, and the rubber bands and the bunching actually create the different sections that aren't supposed to be bleached. And once you're done applying bleach, you can stick your t-shirts in a plastic bag and set them aside to soak in overnight or for a few hours. And last up is the 100% cotton dress. This is the one that I knew would probably take bleach the best. So as I apply bleach to my different sections, basically every other section, you can already see the bleach starting to take and kind of changing the color of the fibers and fabrics to kind of like a rusty red, which eventually kind of becomes more of like a cream vanilla white. I also decided to go in and kind of like randomly splatter different sections that weren't connected with rubber bands with bleach, so this kind of gave like a splattered effect, which actually turned out really cool. So these are the other t-shirts that I got from Walmart, and Bleach. They were recycled polyester and cotton blends. And I did a 50-50 water bleach application at first, and it did nothing. So then I went back in with actual bleach, and I just don't even think that these are taking and working. We're gonna open them up and see, but so far it's not looking too promising. So the yellow shirt didn't really work. Basically all that happened is it changed the color of the shirt from like a mustard yellow to a very pale yellow. Really there was no design. And then the purple shirt, the design kind of works, but it's very, very faint and hardly noticeable. So if it was much more noticeable, it would actually be super cool. So I really like how the design actually turned out, even though it's not as vibrant as I would have liked it to be. And then the black polyester cotton shirt was the one that turned out the best. It actually turned out really cool because the black almost turned into a dark heather gray with other colors spread throughout the design. And here are all of the completed designs side by side. As you can see, all of them look completely different. The colors and vibrancy turned out completely different based on every single shirt and every single different fiber content. So like I said, this was kind of a DIY turned science experiment. So for a breakdown, this is the 100% cotton shirt, which by far had the best take with the bleach. And the polyester cotton blends all turned out differently, kind of based on the percentage and mix of the fiber content and the actual type of dye, because the black shirts actually turned out a lot better than the color dyed shirts, which was really interesting.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like what you saw or you were inspired, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new videos or projects in the future. You can also follow me on all of the different social platforms like Instagram and Twitter, and if you want to see behind the scenes videos of projects or other fun DIY videos, you can also follow me on TikTok. Until next time.